Welcome back, sports fans, to the Fourth Quarter Finish podcast. And today, I am so happily blessed to be here with Aidan Kowatch, a linebacker for Hillsdale College. Aidan, thank you for coming on. And, I appreciate everything. And I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Casey, for having me on again. As you said, I'm Aidan Kowatch. I'm a junior linebacker here at Hillsdale College, and I'm studying I'm in pre-med right now, so that's kind of the journey and path I'm on right now, as well as playing football. So, yep.
Well, so it sounds like, pre-med, that's pretty tasking mentally. So you fit right in as a linebacker because they have to be pretty darn smart. I heard a few
Nope.
people say the quarterback of the defense. So
That's pretty common saying there. So,
yeah, yeah. So that's a good thing. Awesome that you're studying pre-med. That's fantastic, man. We need more doctors in any medical field in the world. We need more medical people in the world than anything. So it's awesome what you're doing. So obviously I'm just gonna get right into it here, Aiden. Uh,
perfect.
you know, what made you choose Hillsdale College? There's a lot of schools out there, and everybody's just wondering what made Hillsdale different for you.
Yeah, yeah. So kind of starting back in high school, I wasn't really considering college football as kind of a path till about my senior year. That's kind of, our team got rolling, coaches are kind of asking around, and some of my coaches in high school, shout out Whitney Bell, our D coordinator. He was kind of the biggest inspiration to kind of push me down this path. But he's like, I think this is something you could do. You could go play college football if there's something you want to do. And obviously, love football. And so like being able to get the chance to play at the second level, just awesome.
It,
So,
it
um,
it's special.
yeah, no, it really is. And just been an absolute blessing. So, kind of throughout the recruiting process, I was a lot of schools in Michigan kind of was my focus. I want to stay close to home. So, Hillsdale's about 2 hours south of Caledonia. So, not too bad of a drive. And then I know I took my visit around the same time. I think it was about January. It would have been 4 years ago now, which is crazy to say.
Wow.
Just flown
Yeah,
by.
it's flying
Uh,
by.
yes, yeah, yeah, it is. So, that was when I kind of took my visit and I came down to Hillsdale with my parents and immediately just felt like home. I think that was the biggest thing for me. Got on campus, loved the coaching staff, all great guys. Want to help you be better in football as well as better men off and on the field. So kind of that was a big deciding factor as well as kind of the education. No, from Hillsdale, they have really high academic standards. That's something obviously with, like I said, being a doctor. I want to be able to value my education first, and then being able
Mhm.
to get the chance to play football was awesome as well. So,
That sounds like a great mix. It's got a little bit of everything you could want. You obviously had your head screwed on tight there, so that's good. Always keep ahead of the academics. That's one thing that a lot of I just had. I believe it was Cade on, and he said the same thing. The academics are huge, man. It's huge.
yeah,
Maddox said it. I've heard a lot of people say it, so that's great. Obviously keep that in your mind. But so obviously there were some motivating factors there you said about coaches. How do you feel you fit the scheme so far?
yeah, I love being able to play linebacker at Hillsdale College. It's been awesome. So, the coaches are doing a great job. Whether it's on field at linebacker, playing on special teams, really able to use my strong suits. I feel like and just be able to go out there and play fast, play physical, and just be able to have fun out there when you're on the field. So.
Perfect. Yeah. So what do you guys play up there? Do you play, a standard like 5-2, 4-3, or a 3-4?
Yeah, so we're pretty similar. We run a 4-2-5 technically, and then we kind of have
Okay.
that 50B is more of a hybrid kind of position. So,
Got
yep,
it.
yep,
Okay. Got it. So that's kind of unique. You don't hear a lot of people play that 4-2-5, but
yeah,
it's pretty cool to hear. That's pretty unique. So, how do you think your season went? What do you think you did good? What do you think you can work on? I just want to hear your take.
yeah, for sure. We ended up finishing 6-5 this year, so kind of a mediocre season. Not obviously where you want to be. Obviously, ultimate goal is to win a ring, that conference
Mhm.
championship, and then the national championship eventually. So, really up and down season again. We started off, I think, 1-5 this year, and then went on a winning streak to win out. So that's always a good feeling. End on that high note, be able to go into the off season with a ton of momentum, ready to prepare for next year. Hopefully, go
Mhm.
undefeated. Obviously, that's always the goal. Um,
Yes. Yes.
so yeah, and seeing what like Ferris does up there, like obviously, that's someday where we want to get. I mean, everybody does. They're always
Yeah.
chasing. So
Yeah, Ferris has been on an absolute tear lately. I hadn't, a lot of people don't realize that, it's one of those funny things. People are like, where is Ferris State? And I'm like, it's actually in the middle of the woods in central Michigan for the
Yeah,
most part. It's
yeah.
it's just
Nope.
it's funny. Nobody thinks that's a football school. It's a
Oh,
football school.
yes, it is.
It just
Yeah.
is. So I have, you know, I have no complaint. I don't, that's not the right word, but I have no reservations that a team is going to knock off Ferris in the next year. I
Yeah.
really do. I don't know why, Coach Anise up there is really, really good. But I feel like there's a lot of, good schools that are on their come up, and,
Sure.
Hillsdale
Yeah.
might be the next one. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Who
Uh,
knows? Nope.
it's one of those games. So obviously that's awesome to hear how you think your season went. Going into more of the recruiting process, right? Your family had to have had a huge impact on what you decided.
Yep.
Take us into that a little bit.
Yeah, so I always kind of start first and foremost. I had an uncle that played at Saginaw Valley, so kind
Okay.
of even from a young age, just like being able to see him and being like, you know what, that'd be pretty awesome to be able to play college football. So he was a big inspiration for me. And then, like I said, when I came down on my visit, I went here with my parents and being able to see them and just like the way that Hillsdale handles it really well is so family oriented. So I have five younger siblings at home, so we got a giant family. We have obviously my younger brother Colin. He plays at Caledonia, and then he just committed to Hillsdale a couple weeks ago. So I'm awesome, super pumped to be able to play with him. And then I have another brother, younger brother Luke. That's he's a sophomore at Caledonia right now playing football. So, kind of just being able to be able to play football. Growing up all the way through football, being able to play with them as well as see my parents. They're just such hard workers and provide us for everything. So being able to come to a school where I know I'm going to be able to play at my best and be able to kind of pay it back to them, get my education, and hopefully, obviously, become a doctor. That's kind of my ultimate goal. And just honoring them and everything that I do. It's been a blessing.
That's awesome. And about the Colin thing, I'm sure that there's going to be a little competition there. I think that's good, though. I think that
Yep.
having a little bit of that brotherly competition on the same team, I think it's going to be awesome. I cannot wait to see the success you guys have. And I think that's awesome. Brothers playing at any level is just super special. I mean, just ask Jason and Travis. They were on different teams, but man, that is such a cool story. It's really special. So applaud you and Colin for making that decision, to be on the same. That's going to be so cool for you guys, man. I'm happy for you and
Yeah,
happy
no,
for Colin.
yes.
Congratulations. So, going into that, was there any times that you kind of big brothered Colin a little bit, like, hey, this is how you do things, or this is, is there any tips you gave him growing up?
Yeah, for sure. We were always kind of a little bit off. We never got to play with each other growing up, obviously. So super excited to be able to get that opportunity. My senior year was his freshman year, and then kind of just the years leading up, especially as he's been able to play on varsity now his junior and senior year. Something we always like to keep in contact with. I try to watch all the games if I can, and be able to see him. I'm just so proud of him being able to watch him play. And like you said, always like little tips. Football game. It's a game of inches, and always trying to be able to grow, change little things, perfect your craft. So just being able to little tips about them, whether it's what's Rockford going to run, what are they playing this week, different little tips of hey, maybe drop a little bit, get your hips a little bit lower out of your brakes, different stuff like that, and being able to train with him throughout the summer while I'm home, and then obviously just throughout the season, being able to keep in contact with him. It's been awesome. So.
That's awesome. So it sounds like, you guys have helped each other a lot in each other's careers. I'm sure that Colin, is Colin giving you any tips on anything, that he sees? It sounds like you guys have a really good relationship and are able to kind of communicate to each other, hey, do this a little bit better or do that. It sounds like that kind of relationship.
Yeah, no, me and Colin have always been super close, and we always like to joke with each other. So, whether it'll be like after the games, the parents will come down to the field with Colin. He's gone to pretty much I think every Hillsdale home game that there has been. Always being able to support, just being able to come down and hey, what'd you do on this play? What were you thinking on this play? And being able to like, hey, you should have done this. And I was like, yeah, I know, like just different stuff like that, little tips, being able to joke around with each other, mess around. That's kind of always our relationships, how it's always been, and being able to continue that, I'm just super excited for.
That is going to be awesome, and I cannot wait to have you both back on eventually, hopefully. Colin, I'm gonna be reaching out, trust me. I can't wait to have both you on and then, hear some stories about on the football field of Hillsdale together. think that's going to be awesome to hear. I think there's going to be some good stories come out of that too. So,
Yeah, for sure.
that's awesome. I can't wait for both of you. It's going to be so awesome to see both of you on the football field, and I'll be watching, as should everybody that's watching this. Make sure you go follow Hillsdale and watch Aidan and Colin play together because that is cool. So little shout out there to Hillsdale. But so obviously playing safety at Caledonia, you're transitioning out to a linebacker. So what has that change been like? There's obviously a lot that goes into that change from a body perspective and a mental perspective. So take us into that.
Yeah, for sure. So I was obviously, safety at Caledonia, and then early in the recruiting process, Hillsdale talked about moving me to linebacker. I was all for it. I was like, whatever it's going to be on the field, be able to get me on the field, and then whatever's going to be able to help the team. So, like you touched on it, a little bit of a transition. You're playing about 5 yards closer to the big nasties, those
Yeah,
O linemen.
yeah,
So obviously, be able to bulk up a little bit. I think I've gained about 30, 40 pounds since I was playing at Caledonia. So being able to that, I want to shout out our strength coach here at Hillsdale. He's done a great job being able to get us ready for the season. Not only me personally, but also the whole team. And then shout out Kyle Thompson at Max Effort, Thompson Performance. I know there's a lot of guys that train there from Caledonia and being able to go there over the summer. It's been a great group to be able to train with. A lot of other college athletes being able to get each other ready, be able to compete, getting ready for the season. So yeah, and yeah.
You see, so yeah, working with Thompson, I've heard so many people say, Thompson's performance, they're doing a great job. They've put so many athletes in the college ranks so far from Caledonia, which, like I said, this isn't a shot at all to the prior Caledonia regime or anything like that, but it's just the strength and conditioning that you guys go through now is so much different than what we went through back in the day. And just how much of an effect do you think that's had on the increase we've seen in Caledonia athletes going to those next levels, the D2s, the D1s, even the D3s? I mean, it's crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, no, I think it's been a complete game changer. Being able to not only the competition of it, being able to be surrounded by those guys, but also just the little things. Obviously get in the weight room, be able to get stronger, faster. It's huge. Being able to compete, with some of those bigger schools like the Rockfords and the Hudsonvilles, the Granvilles, all those guys. I think just it's been an absolute game changer for us here at Caledonia, and yeah, it's just been a blessing to be able to work with him, be able to work with all those guys that over there. So shout out Max Effort, shout out Kyle Thompson. Yeah.
Max Effort, man, I'm telling you, every athlete that comes on here sings your praises. So I'm telling you, if you are not working with Max Effort yet and you're watching this podcast, hit them up, get in the gym. It's totally worth it. These are athletes at the next level that are saying like, hey, they got me to that next level. Go hit them up, guys. I'm serious. They're great. So obviously, shout out to Max Effort from every athlete that comes on here. So that's awesome, Aiden, to hear. And, I guess the next thing is, getting to that next weight. Do you feel any slower at this new playing weight, or do you feel that through your training, you've actually gotten faster and strong, like just overall just changed your game?
Yeah, I think it's been a complete, 180 for my game. Being able to, obviously, like I said, be able to play closer to the line. There's a lot of different stuff that goes into linebacker, a little bit different of a position from safety, but I think I've been able to, transition well and, keep that speed, be able to be more physical, be more aggressive as a player. So it's been great.
I'm telling you right now, I'm calling you Hillsdale's Brian Urlacher. I'm going with it. I'm sticking with it. I like it. I'm a Bears fan, so I know Lions fans are gonna be like, "Oh, Brian Urlacher." I don't want to hear that name right now, but I'm telling you, all right. I see comparisons, so that's awesome. That's gonna be my nickname for you from now on in the phone.
Perfect.
But anyways, at the end of the day, Aiden, everybody's got a dream, right? So what does Aiden want his legacy at the end of the day to be, either on the field or off the field? What do you want to be known for?
Yeah, I think on the field, first and foremost, I want to be known as a great teammate, somebody that brings the energy to practice every day. Be able to be supportive of my guys and be able to go out there and have fun. I think that's the biggest thing that people are going to know you as. And remember, not how many tackles you have, not how many sacks, interceptions. Be able to, be the guy that every day went to work. I want to be known as a hard worker. Be able to get my stuff done, and then obviously, and like I said, be able to be a great teammate. And then like you said, kind of transitioning to off the field. I talked about it earlier. Ultimate goal, I want to be a doctor. So I want to be known, as a great physician, I want to be known, as a great friend, a great brother, great son, hopefully great husband, father someday. You know, just be able to be known as a man of faith. That's a huge thing for me is my faith in God, my faith in Christ. It's got me this far. So I just want to be known as somebody that, is a faithful, hard worker, great teammate, great friend. So yeah.
That is all amazing and fantastic things. And like I said, I've heard a lot of athletes say it, and it's nice to hear other athletes say it. But yeah, through Christ, all is possible. I truly am a firm believer in that. And it's great to hear you say it. And obviously that's awesome, man. Anybody that can stay true to who they are is a big thing in this day and age. So just keep on being you, man. And I'm sure that the legacy will come behind it, and it's going to be a great legacy. I have no concerns about that, Brian Urlacher. So, no problems there. So, as a college student as well, what does your daily routine look like right now? I've got a buddy that goes to Michigan State, and I swear he wakes up at noon every day, and I'm like, this is so unfair. Why
Yeah.
does why do you get to wake up at noon every day, and I've got to be up at 7 a.m. to go to work? So what is it like for you?
Yeah, so we just kind of started. We just got back in school about a week ago, so we kind of started our 6 week training program right before spring ball starts. So 5 days a week, we got 6 o'clock workouts. So you're up at 5:30. Be able to get that, and then I'll be going to class pretty much about all day. Like be able to fit breakfast and lunch in there, and then head back home. Be able to knock out some homework, go to dinner, and then kind of just hang out with my roommates, hang out with our teammates. So, yep,
Just
pretty
just
full day.
have
But, it's been great.
Yeah, it sounds like just have a chill night. It sounds like, no craziness, no, going out to steakhouses every night. That's good.
Yeah, no, Hillsdale's kind of in the middle of nowhere, so there's not too many options for food, anyways. But we still like to have fun around here, be able to go out to eat, hang out. So yeah.
That's awesome. And did I hear you say that you're rooming with teammates as well?
Yep. So I live here with three other guys that are on the football team. They're all pre-med guys as well. So, you being able to have them back, some of my best friends here and, knowing able to have those relationships for life. So they're awesome.
Wow, that is absolutely crazy. It is a football house of doctors. That is absolutely crazy and awesome at the same time. I'm sure there is a lot of big brain energy over there right now. It's got to be crazy. I don't think I've been in a room of that many people that are that smart. So that's crazy. Congratulations to all of you. So that's awesome. But you've always got a support group there. It sounds like you've got
Yeah.
your teammates there that you can go to. Hey, football wise, what is this play? What do you do here? And then medical wise, hey, we're all doing same kind of stuff right now. So where's the kneecap? I don't know, just
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
that. So that's cool. You've got a good support system. It
Yep.
sounds like so. Uh, so growing up in Caledonia, this is a fun one I like to always ask too. Is growing up in Caledonia, what is your best Caledonia football memory?
I'll have to say for sure my senior year, winning the district championship. We came back and beat Mona Shores, who we lost to my junior year.
Mhm.
Um, that was just awesome. Being able to all that we went through, kind of as a group, that senior class especially, we were super tight, and being able to finish with that win. Coach Pennington's first year there, it was awesome just to be able to see what that did for the community. So many people coming out to the games, being able to support us, and yeah, being able to cap it off with a trophy was awesome.
Yeah, anytime you can beat the MS over there, I don't like to say their name because they terrorized my entire life.
Yep.
There's two schools. It's been MS and the R school that I won't name. Those
Yeah.
two schools have been, kind of Caledonia's worst enemies in playoffs every year. So, it's nice that whenever you can get a victory against them is always nice. And shout out to Pennington for getting it done your senior year. But
Yeah.
that was actually a great question I wanted to bring up is, you must have gotten to see the Burrell years as well. Coach Burrell, he was my coach. I played in 18. And so, what was that change like? You got to see it firsthand, that change from Burrell's style to Pennington's. What did that look like to you?
Yeah, I'm super thankful for Coach Burrow. He definitely helped me shape me into the man I was today. He was a great leader of men, and loved having him as a coach. Great guy. And then kind of shifting into Pennington, we didn't really know what to expect. He was coming from Zealand East. He brought a couple players with us, with him to be able to join our team, and he fit like a glove. He kind of really embraced our culture. It was a complete almost 180, you know, of culture and being able to just go in there, had a ton of fun, and we're just able to get stuff done. Bennington was great. I think all the players that have played for him, they love him. He's a football guy for sure.
Mhm.
And he just brought a completely different energy to Caledonia football that has been awesome.
It is definitely taken over the community. I mean, we have that thing, that giant thing. I don't even know what they call it now, but it's the giant like parade, not parade, but the party in the parking lot
Yeah,
of the
yeah, exactly.
stadium, which is crazy. I don't ever remember that growing up. So it's just crazy how much has changed in just the short, even since I played. So 2018, I mean, just short time, just how much has changed. And I love it. I think it's so great for you guys, for the athletes, for the community. It's awesome to get this kind of recognition in a school that most definitely deserves it. We have athletes, and we've definitely had athletes for a long time that just kind of don't get recognized. And I'm excited to see that people are starting to see it now. But so district championship, what do you remember most about that game for you?
Yeah, it was kind of a surreal moment, really. You know, um, my freshman and sophomore year, playing on freshman and JV, we didn't win a game, so we were 0 and 17, which was pretty crazy. And then the last year of Burrell, I think we ended up 4 and 5 that year. Played for the district championship, lost to Mona Shore. So that was a game that we knew if we wanted to get back to where that was probably going to be Mona again. Um, you know, a great season. You know, we finished I think 10-2 that year, and going into that Mona game, I just remember we were playing over at Granville. Kind of a different atmosphere there. I remember the crowd, huge crowd. So many people came out to support us, and then it was one of the most fun times I've ever had playing football. Kind of a crazy game. Offense was rolling, defense was rolling. I mean, about as perfect as a game as you could have played. It really was. Just being able to soak it all in and experience it. It was once in a lifetime.
That's awesome, man. If I remember right, did was that the year that it was snowing, or was it our stadium was down, wasn't it? If I remember
Yeah,
right.
yeah. They got the grass over at Caledonia. They got the new turf now, but back in the day, used to play on the grass, and it was kind of just not great conditions. So they decided to push it over to Granville, and yeah.
Yeah, and rest is history, as they say.
Yep, yep.
Any former player that got to play on that Caledonia grass remembers that was iconic grass, though, man.
Yes, it was.
There was never a clean jersey or pants after a game
Nope.
at Caledonia Field, like at the Ralph. It was crazy. So, that's awesome. I'm sure you've got a million stories about the Ralph back in the day, but that's awesome to hear about the district championship, man. That's a special moment that not many of us got to feel. Like me, I didn't get to feel that, but for a long time we didn't get to feel that. So that must have been an awesome feeling for you, and not only but that you must have seen the community like rejoice around that too. You
Yeah.
know, it was a cool moment. So what do you hope happens with Caledonia in the future? What do you expect to happen? What do you hope they can continue? And what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I got kind of a personal stake in it with my younger brother Luke playing, and I hope for just continued success. I think that we've kind of shown the past couple of years what Caledonia football is capable of. That we can be a powerhouse, we can be a force to reckon with in the state, whether it's at Division 1 or Division 2. I hope lots of conference championships, beating Rockford, beating the Hudsonvilles. I know my brothers always talk about Byron Center as well too as a team they want to beat.
Hmm.
So I think for Caledonia football, the sky's the limit. We got amazing coaches over there. The coaching staff's great, whether it's Pennington or Bell. They're great over there. And then kind of everything that continued, the way that's bringing the community together. You'll get 15,000 people at a game sometimes.
Yeah.
I think it's been awesome for Caledonia, for the community as a whole, and hopefully a couple more state championship appearances and wins. Is what I
Yes.
think for Caledonia football.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And I think that with their structure, I think it's definitely possible. And, we saw it kind of last year. Rockford is not the big bad boogeyman that they always used to be. I mean, they just aren't. I mean, we're catching up. And, there's a couple of schools that, a lot of us forgot about, but like they're also starting to keep up. Byron Center has really kicked on the Jets lately. and
Nope.
they're doing really good. So they're a force to be reckoned with, I think, in the future. And then surprisingly, Lowell and East Kentwood, Lowell. For
Yeah.
some reason, I youth football coach and I played against their youth team and it was really, really good. And they had a lot of big kids. So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. Lowell's always lurking kind of off over there, and it's just great. You know, this West Michigan is so great for football, and I'm so excited to see it get more competitive than it ever has been. And I think Caledonia is right in the mix right now for competing at the high level that they could. You know, so it's great to hear your take on it because you've played in those big moments and you've seen what's going on, and you also have brothers that are currently
Yeah.
in it, so you get the firsthand look. So. That's awesome, Aiden, to hear. And, I'm super excited to see Caledonia continue their success. So now kind of is just fun, obviously you're a huge NFL fan, college fan, you're, football fan in general, right? So growing up, who was your idols? Who were your guys that you were like, man, I love watching this guy play no matter what. I want to model my game after him, anything like that.
Yeah, so like you said, I was a safety to begin with, a DB at heart. I always like to say. So the biggest guy for me coming out of the Wolverines was Charles Woodson. I wore number
Mhm.
2 all the way from youth football all the way through high school. And he was a huge inspiration for me. The way he plays the game, he's got a little bit of swagger to him, a little bit of
Mhm.
fun. Just being able to see the way that he plays was a huge inspiration for me. And then growing up, being able to see, Michigan was good for a long time. Denard Robinson always has a little special place in my heart. Probably the most fun I've ever had watching a football player play football. Him, Denard Robinson, Devin Bush, obviously playing at linebacker was a big inspiration.
Mhm.
Uh, Seeing all those guys be able to compete at, the highest level, huge fans of them. Had a little bit of swagger, which I like to, think I got a little bit to my game, be able to have a little fun with it. So, some of those guys for sure were giant inspirations for me and just fun to watch.
And yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with C Dub. I mean, C Dub played amazing for Michigan. And again, coming from a state fan, I hate to say it because it hurts me every day thinking about C
Yeah.
Dub and Devin Bush. And it's fine. It's fine. It's good. But yeah, they were unbelievable players at Michigan. And Shoelace, I always called him, everybody called him Shoelaces, but
Yeah.
that guy was crazy good at quarterback. I don't
That's right.
care what anybody
That's right.
says. It was just he was the first mobile quarterback we've ever, in my opinion, first real mobile quarterback that we've ever seen
Yeah.
perform at a high level like that. And it's crazy to think just how much has happened with Michigan. I'm sure that behind you there's going to be a 2023 Michigan National Champions banner soon enough. I'm sure it's coming, but
Yeah.
or it's somewhere. But that was a crazy run for them too. So I'm sure you're happy with how the Wolverines are looking right now. They've got
Oh,
I don't know, just the number one player in the nation. So, what are your takes on the Wolverines coming up?
yeah. Obviously a little bit of a rough year. It ended with, that Ohio State win and that Alabama win. I think they really got it rolling. Returning a lot of key pieces that I like to see on their defense, offense as well. And then Bryce Underwood. He was a pretty cool talent. I watched when Caledonia played him in the state championship when he was a sophomore, and I was like, yeah, he's a little bit different.
Hmm.
Hell of a player he really is, and being able to see him, I'm excited to see what he does at Michigan. Wishing him the best of luck, and I'll be watching for sure.
Yeah, and speaking with that, I was at that same game you were, and it was just crazy how like this kid's a sophomore. Like that's 15, 16 years old, and he is making college level plays in a state champ. It was unbelievable of what I was seeing, and I I'm scared every day that he plays for Michigan. I'm scared. Michigan State, we'll take our 7 or 8 win season and we'll be just fine. I'm really happy about that. We're gonna lose to Michigan and it's gonna be fine. And so, it's good. It's good. But
Yeah,
we have basketball. We're a basketball school. Remember that.
yeah,
That's
yep.
that's what we're going with. So that's awesome. I also hear you're a pretty big Lions fan. So last thing I wanted to touch on is, where do you see the Lions going after everything that's transpired? So Ben Johnson going to Chicago. Thank you. The Aaron Glenn going to the Jets now. That came out today. So what are you seeing?
Yeah, obviously, some big losses on the coaching staff. Still believe in MCDC. I think he's the big culture guy there, and love to have him as a coach. Obviously, super tough loss to an upstart Commanders team that's playing really good football. Shout out Mikey Sanders, still another player at Michigan.
Yep.
Love to watch. Um, but yeah, I think the Lions, we got all the key pieces still back. Amon Ra, Penei Sewell, Goff, Gibbs and Montgomery. I think that's something that they got a real unique culture over there of different players coming in, to play that gritty Detroit football. So I think the Lions are going to be all right. I really do.
Mhm.
Obviously, a super competitive conference and division with your Bears and the Vikings and the Packers. So we'll see. I still think the future is super bright for the Lions. And obviously just a huge fan, and I always be watching. So
Hey, one day, man, it's
nope.
just one day it's just gonna click and it's gonna come. I'll tell you, from a franchise that hasn't done well at all in the past, I don't know, 100 years, other than 1 year. Well, I guess two. We made it in '06, but whatever. We lost to Peyton Manning because our quarterback threw 4 interceptions. So, but it'll come out of nowhere. It'll just happen. One day you'll just be like, this is not a team that's going to win the Super Bowl, and then they're just going to win, and you're going to be surprised. Like that's literally what's going to happen. And Lions fans praying for you. Obviously, it's going to be all right. I promise, it's going to be all right. I think that they've got, like you said, a great young core. There's a lot of talent on that team. The Bears have got a ways to go. For one, we need an O line.
Nope. First and
I
foremost, let's start in the trenches.
starts in the trenches, man. It really does. The Lions' offensive line kind of paved the way for what an O line should look like, and I'm like, okay, we're getting Ben Johnson, but can we take the Lions' offensive line with him? Because that would be nice. But yeah, no, I'm excited. Great division. Super excited to see what's going to happen this year, and it's just so cool to hear your take on it as a current college player. You see a
Yeah.
lot of the game and a lot of tape, so that's awesome to hear, man. So. I just want to take a moment and say thank you so much, Aidan, for coming on. It's been an absolute blessing to talk to you, and I'm so excited to see what you and Colin do at Hillsdale now. I think that's so cool. I think that's going to be awesome for the college world to see, and I'm sure that it'll get picked up by Hillsdale, and you guys are going to get this cool picture of you guys making a sack and high-fiving each other. I don't know. It's going to be something cool. So I'm super excited for you guys. I'm super excited to see where your careers go. And I want to have you guys back on. I'll keep in contact with you guys. Also, feel free to follow Aidan at his socials. I'll put them on the screen right here and also put them down below. Please go support him and his brothers and his family and really everything that he is involved with, Hillsdale. Just everything. Follow them all. And then, guys, please like and subscribe to this video. It really helps us out to continue this channel and continue getting great athletes like Aidan on. So, thank you for all your support and thank you for helping me become the brand I am. Able to get guys like Aidan on here. So, thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thanks again, Casey, for having me on. I'm super blessed to be able to, be able to share my story, this awesome platform. So I thank you and, wish you the best moving forward.
Thank you so much, Aidan. Like I said, I got good feeling about this, and we're gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna keep it rolling. All right. All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for listening to the Fourth Quarter Finish podcast. Please like and subscribe. To support the athletes that are featured, check out their personal links down below. Fourth Quarter Finish, hard-hitting takes.